This is Paige from Traditional Catholic Femininity, and welcome to episode 10 of the Ask Paige series. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello, wherever you are. Sorry if I'm whispering. I just finished putting the kids to bed, and I just thought this would be the perfect time to address a particular Ask Paige question that I received from a reader, and it's regarding children and co-sleeping. Isn't that great, right? So I haven't really I've written articles on parenting tips here and there, but I don't think I have done an Ask Page that is a parenting topic. So I guess this is the first one. Sorry if I'm whispering a bit. Kids are asleep and it's actually quite late here. So this Ask Page comes from a guy, a father, and he says, what name shall we give him? Let's call him Charles. So Charles says, hold on, let me find his message. He said, Hi Paige, what is your position on children co-sleeping with their parents? Our kids are 6, 4, and 2. Almost similar ages to mine. And he says the oldest 2 are girls and the youngest is a boy. Okay, so he has girl, boy. Mine is girl, boy, girl. So anyway, Charles says they are currently sleeping on separate mattresses on our floor. What? Why? I'm concerned that our oldest, which is a girl, is close to the age of reason, and also the impact co-sleeping will have on our marriage as it intrudes on private time. Well, exactly. I don't understand why they are sleeping in the same room, the mattress on the floor. The private time I have with my wife is already very limited. So, yeah. So, the children are quite young, but they're still too old to be sharing a room with their parents, to be honest with you. This is the age where they should be learning how to sleep on their own, how to self-soothe, and sleeping on a mattress on the floor. I don't know. What does that say about them, feeling like they have their own space? I don't think it's quite healthy. Even if you cannot have all the kids have their own individual rooms, it's a great thing that the 2 oldest are girls, so you can put the girl in, say, one bedroom and the boy in another bedroom. But yeah, 6, 4, and 2, way too old to be co-sleeping. Too old. So anyway, here's my response, and then I'll go into it a bit later. So his children are 6, 4, 2. Mine is 7, 4, and under 1, under 6 months. Now, co-sleeping really should only apply for babies, and that's because mommy has to get up in the middle of the night to breastfeed or to feed a baby. All right. Once the baby has been weaned and they're on the bottle, okay, let's say you are the parent who continues to breastfeed your child by when they're like age 2 and 3. Even so, they're still not at the age where they're waking up through the night to be feeding every 2 to 3 hours, right? They don't really need that amount of feeding. So it doesn't really make sense for them to be in the bed with mommy. Now, the two oldest should definitely have their room. 6 and 4, they should definitely have their own room. And if they're girls, they don't need to have their own separate rooms at this age, because they're still quite young. They're still learning how to kind of share with each other and kind of develop a sisterly bond, right? So you can put them together in one room, at least until, I don't know, teenage years, and then one of them starts demanding their own space. In my opinion, because of the main purpose of co-sleeping with children, unless you're like extremely poor and you are one of those families where you all have just one room in the entire house, you don't even have a living room or a dining room, you just have, it's just like in one room, then the whole family can sleep together. But if that is not the case, the children should not be co-sleeping with their parents or in the parents' room once they've passed the toddlerhood. So let's see, when does toddlerhood end? I have an idea, but let's see what parenting websites say. Okay, yeah, so I was right. So toddlerhood basically ends at age 3 years old, and it goes back to what I was saying, that if let's say you're the type that you're still breastfeeding your child up to age 3, even so, by age 2, children begin to have an idea of what's going on, and you don't really, if you want private time, you don't really want to expose them to that, right? Because it's quite an intimate, sacred act between mommy and daddy, between you and your spouse, right? So so basically, here's my answer to it. Sorry, I thought I heard something. My answer basically is the oldest should definitely have their own room, the two of them, and co-sleeping should end by middle to the end of toddlerhood. So basically between ages 1.5 to say 2.5, that's when you should stop co-sleeping with a baby if you want to have some private time with your spouse. And the children should be helped into transitioning to sleeping by themselves, because you have to remember, this is also for their own, healthy psychological, emotional development, learning how to self-soothe, learn how to sleep by themselves, learning how to take care of their own little space, even if they don't have their own dedicated bedroom, their own little space, like their bed, their bedside table, things like that. So here is what I would suggest. You just gotta make it special. Hold on. Okay, here's somebody crying. That's okay. It's okay. Shh. So yeah, help the children transition to sleeping by themselves and make it special for them. Cuddle with them. Here's what I do. So you can take one of few tips from what my husband and I do. So you cuddle with them when it's bedtime. You cuddle with them. Mine would usually ask for like a drink, and when the second to youngest was bottle feeding, I'd have like a bottle of warmed up milk. The milk also helps them, become sleepy, fall asleep. So basically our night routine is something like this. I give the children a bath, they've had their supper, and they're all in their pajamas, And then it's bedtime, so we take them to bed. And they have like the 4-year-old has like a toddler bed, so it's not quite a crib, it's not like a baby cot, but it's like a toddler bed. So it is small, but I can still kind of wiggle my way in there. And so they've had their bath, they've brushed their teeth, they're all in their PJs. And then I climb into bed with each one of them have their own personal one-on-one time with either me or their daddy. And we rotate it every night. So one night I would be with the boy, and the next night hubby would be with the boy, and like that. That's how we do it. Anyway, you gotta get creative with more than one child, right? So we cuddle with them, in each child in their own bed at night. We read them either a bedtime story or a biblical story, right? There are lots and lots of lovely Catholic biblical books for children. We read them the story. They get to choose 1 or 2 or 3, depends. And then we hold the rosary with them, and we might say a decade or 2 of the rosary with them. And as we say the rosary with them slowly, right, while he's suckling on his bottle of milk, we have them say an Ave with us, say an Ave with us. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou. Or I say, and then they repeat, Hail Mary, full of grace, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. All of that, right? And they say that while I'm holding their rosary, kiddie rosary, like children's rosary, with them. They hold the rosary in their hand and they get to count. All of these things kind of help slow the brain down and winds down the system, makes them less hyper, so that they can get into sleeping time. So we finish the bedtime story or the biblical story with maybe 1 or 2 decades from the rosary, or maybe just an Ave, right? And then as we're saying this, all the lights in the bedroom are dimmed. So the only light that is on would be a night light. And they have 2 of them. They have like a guardian angel light. And I chose the guardian angel light to sort of alleviate the normal fears that children have. Oh, it's a bit dark, it's a bit scary. Well, don't worry, here's your guardian angel. He's going to look after you throughout the whole night. So the guardian angel light is like a night light. And once I put that on, they kind of feel like my guardian angel is next to me. Isn't that cute, right? And I have that on their bedside table. Also on the bedside table, there is a little picture of baby Jesus, right? Like infant Jesus as a baby. And it's framed in a cute little, child-friendly frame. And at the end of the rosary, I hold up the picture to the other mothers. Okay, kiss for mommy, or kiss for daddy, or hugs. Because they will always, I want a hug, mommy. Okay, fine, here's a hug. Kiss from mommy. Okay, now you've got to kiss baby Jesus good night. And they kiss baby Jesus good night, the picture, and put it back by their table, on their bedside table. And I get them, or I tell them to put the rosary under their pillow. So they are already getting into like the Catholic practices of praying at night time. And when they can, the boy, he hasn't yet mastered the guardian angel's prayer in full yet, but the eldest, the girl, she also says the guardian. I get her to say the guardian angel prayer at night, right? Before final kisses and cuddles for me, for their daddy, and then for baby Jesus, and then it's nighttime. So that's basically what our nighttime routine looks like. with the children. And you can do it. Just make it fun, make it holy, and make it child friendly. And obviously Catholic centric. Can I even talk today? So it's also going to help them grow in the faith, because they now have this routine or pattern every night of saying the rosary or parts of the rosary, and saying the guardian angel prayer, holding their rosary, putting their rosary under the bed, having the guardian angel light next to them, having a framed picture of a little cute baby Jesus next to them, that they get a kiss. Even when he wakes up in the morning, my son, the eldest used to do it, but she doesn't really do it so much now. Maybe she does it quietly because she feels a bit shy. But he'll wake up in the morning and go, "Good morning, baby Jesus," or "Good morning, Jesus." And he gives him a kiss when he wakes up in the morning. He's that cute. Right before he comes to our bed and wakes me up. So it's really important when you have a family. Yes, you have a family, you have children. The children should be your primary focus, your main responsibility, but it's your duty as well, your major duty, to raise these little young souls so that they are on track to get to heaven. And part of doing that is helping them develop this the practices of our faith, this little routine, like the bedtime routine I just described for you. And also it helps their emotional, psychological development as well, because when the whole family is sort of sleeping together all the time, it's not healthy psychologically, because it creates this sort of codependence, right? And you don't want to, of course, we are all dependent on each other, and you always love each other as a family, but you don't want a codependence on each other in that way. And also, if the children are the sole focus of your home, without you also focusing on your marriage and the time you spend with your wife, husband, it's going to affect your marriage. And when the parents are not happy in the marriage, or when the relationship between the parents are affected or disrupted, it will impact the children. It doesn't matter how quiet you think your arguments are, the children will pick up on the vibes. They came from you. They're not stupid. They may not understand what's going on, but they would feel it, and it will start to affect them. You don't want your children developing emotional, psychological problems to you. No. So it's really important to learn to have that balance. During the day, you have all the time with your children. Nighttime should be for mommy and daddy alone. Mommy and daddy in the bed, right? And the eldest knows that before she bursts into our room, she should knock. And that's something you should also teach your kids, so they don't burst in on on you and your wife, kind of in the middle of, you know what I mean, right? Because you don't want the children to get too curious about that too early. You want them to have a healthy idea of sexuality, and for them to understand that sex is something that is sacred and special and holy, and between two people that join together in matrimony. Doesn't involve the children. Should never involve the children witnessing, partaking, or exposed to it. So yeah, I think I've answered the question anyway. So what do you guys think? What bedtime routines do you have for your little one? For those that are interested, I will put down in the description box below some links to like really cute Catholic centered items that you can use to decorate your children's rooms or their bedside table, right? So things like a guardian angel lamp. If I can find one, I'll put a link there. Kitty rosaries, if I can find one, I'll put a link there. And yeah, I'll put some stuff there. So you don't have to purchase any of them, but you can peruse them and to give you an idea, of things you can do to make bedtime fun, cute, and holy and Catholic centric for your children, right? We need to surround our kids with as much love and as much holiness as possible, because that's how we keep them safe and protected from this world, and that's how we help them basically get to heaven. So I hope this helps. For the people listening, sorry, God, I'm so tired, I can't talk. I hope this helps. And the gentleman who actually sent me this question, he wrote back to me, and this was his response to the advice that I gave him. And he said, thank you very much. These are really good ideas. I'll be sure to put them into action. So he liked the ideas I gave, and I hope you like them too. Right? Okay, I'm gonna. My poor husband, he's fast asleep, and here I am whispering. So I'm gonna sign off now. And I hope this was helpful, and I wish you all a very restful evening, day, afternoon, morning, what have you, wherever you are. Be blessed in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Right. Night night. Bye.